comeback was it's not in the court order, so she wasn't going to do that. At this late game, they start school back on August the 1st, and the testimony with what's going to be before the court with him briefly, I'm asking that basically he have the remainder of the month for his summer visitation, probably give her, a weekend or something like that in the middle of it, and I think that would be fair.
I have a feeling Mr. Hawley's probably going to redact one thing he just said, but factually, that's not accurate.
What part?
I agree that we said we would work together on visitation. Mr. Piper, we agree, waited until June the 18th to even discuss visitation with my client. So we were here sometime before that, and he waited to even ask for a week until June the 18th. He initially asked for the 4th through the 8th. My client accommodated that, and she did actually July the 3rd through the 9th. He said he would be on vacation for that entire time with his family. Come to find out, he let it slip that they came back several days early, and that his father had taken the youngest child to the doctor. They did not contact her to see if she would want to go to the doctor with them. And so there's some dishonesty there about what's going on and how it's going on. That being said, another week was never asked for. Mr. Hawley, I can agree, sent me an email on June the 28th when I was out of the office. And we know how the end of June melded into July the 4th. I think we had like a 2-day or a 3-day week that next week, and I was still catching up from being out of town. Mr. Piper never asked Miss Piper for additional time. Otherwise, she would have worked it out. I've told Mr. Hawley today that they can have next week. Miss Piper needs to be able to prepare the children for school and for her work and all of that as school approaches. I don't think it's appropriate for him to have 2 weeks in a row. I will also say that Miss Piper took it upon herself to say, hey, my weekend and my birthday fall on Father's Day this year. But you need Father's Day, and sent the kids to him on Father's Day. So they want to make it like Miss Piper is withholding visitation, but nowhere in their text messages does he ask for another week. He never asked for another week. As a matter of fact, he sits and waits until almost the end of June to ask for any time, which she accommodates and expands. From he asked for July the 4th to July the 8th, and she expanded it from July the 3rd to July the 9th. I think Mr. Hawley filed this motion to make it look like the mother wasn't co-parenting, when in fact it's actually the exact opposite. When the father says that he's going to be out of town from the 3rd to the 9th, he shows back up in town and allows his father to take one of the children to the doctor and doesn't include Miss Piper in any of that. That's not co-parenting. And had Mr. Hawley reached out to me one last time before he filed this motion by phone, he knew that that was a holiday week. We probably could have gotten it worked out.
All right, Mr. Hawley, we call your first witness.
Judge, I think this was off of YouTube originally because of some of the allegations with the children and the allegations of the parties and the reason why
I don't remember it being off of YouTube. Is there some salacious detail that's going to be brought out today?
Not today, but I don't know what how the court does this. So I knew because of everything with the psychosexual before, I think it was. So if you do that because we did that.
My recollection is it's been on YouTube, and I'm not inclined to close the court unless there's something in it that involves today's testimony that would make a difference. So.
I don't believe on my part there would be.
All right.
You're Logan Piper, correct?
Correct.
State your children's names and ages, the court.
Luella Marie Piper, age 6. Oliver Finn Piper, age 2.
And these divorce proceedings had been started when?
Was it Memorial Day weekend of last year?
And during that time, Mrs. Piper, did she withhold the children from you?
Yes.
And there were CPS reports against you?
Yes.
And how long did you go without seeing the children at that length of time during the divorce when all that was going on?
I believe it was from I don't have the exact dates on hand, but I want to say it was middle of August. Middle of August to right before Christmas,
Middle of August of what year now?
2023.
Okay, and then right before Christmas. And you didn't see or talk to your children at all during that time, correct?
Correct.
All right. And we had a series of dates for the temporary hearing. You remember that?
Yes.
Judge ordered you to go to psychosexual evaluation along with Ms. Piper, and then we all came back.
Yes.
And you heard him discuss the order that, you know, we put in and that it should have been it's an unsupervised visitation.
So the objection is to leaving, Mr. Holly.
I'll
Don't leave the room.
rephrase. I'm just trying to get to the meat of the matter. So as far as you know, then after you got back from that last court hearing, what was your visitation going to be? Was it supervised or unsupervised?
Unsupervised.
And did you or did you not have like a graduated scale?
Yes.
What are you doing now?
Now it's every other weekend, Friday from 6:30 to Sunday at 6:30.
And how are those visits going?
They're going well.
What are some of the things that you've done on your weekend visitations with the children?
We spend a lot of time with their grandparents, making sure, and their cousins and everything like that. Mostly, you know, we'll do like arts and crafts. We'll run around and play in the playground. I'll take them out to the splash pad. You know, things of that nature. Just enjoying time with my kids.
And you still live at the same residence?
Yes.
Is that the marital residence?
Yes.
And it's the same residence the kids had known from day one, correct?
Yes.
So we're here today, as you know, for a motion for summer visitation. You telephoned my office and said that you couldn't get anywhere with some visits, correct?
Ms. Dane, don't leave the witness.
Again, so were you having trouble with Ms. Piper in communicating with her regarding summer visitation?
Yes.
Okay. Explain to the court what that was.
So when we had the last hearing, my understanding was that we were going to work out some summer visitation. It was discussed, 2 weeks for summer. When the hearing was over, you had asked me, to let you know which 2 weeks that I wanted for summer. And I sent that over. I sent that over to you through email saying, I knew for sure we were going on a trip at the beginning of July. I didn't have the exact dates yet, right offhand, but I knew that I was going to say, well, let's just do, the first 2 weeks of July, was my initial request. I never really heard anything else about it, up until it got closer to time. And, Diana had asked me a couple of times, at a few of the pickups to confirm what the dates were. And I kept forgetting to confirm with my mom, who was the one that had planned it. And then, but at the same time, I was, I had maintained that I was going to request those first 2 weeks in July. And got closer to July, still hadn't heard anything. But then at one of the pickups, I believe it was, Dinah had mentioned that she didn't see anything in the court order about 2 weeks of summer vacation. And I said that we had, as far as I knew, we had done it was all verbal in the courtroom, and everything. But then, so then I modified that request. That was the first time I had sent her directly a request.
You sent a request. Did you send that to my office as well?
Yes.
Yeah. And what was that request that you sent directly to her?
I believe it was, I had originally requested from the Wednesday before the trip, which I believe was the 2nd, to the following Wednesday, which would have been the 9th. And then I said that I would be happy to work around your schedule for the second week, because I don't have another trip planned. So I'm pretty flexible. I can work with what you got going on.
And what was her response?
She responded that she had asked me for 2 months to confirm the dates of the trip, and that she had finally confirmed the dates of the trip through another family member on my side of the family. I'm presuming it's my grandmother.
Pull that microphone towards you a little bit. You don't have to move your chair up, just pull the base of that microphone toward you. Go ahead.
So she, let's see. So she said that she had gotten the dates from my grandmother. And so she said that since those are the dates and since you never told me anything else, otherwise before now, you may have the kids from, what was it, the 3rd at 8:30 to, was that the 7th? The following Tuesday morning at 10:30 a.m.
So it's the 3rd at 8:30 to that following Tuesday morning, whatever that is, at what time?
10:30 a.m.
10:30 a.m. And did you discuss with her then that second week, after that time, did you discuss with her at all about that second week?
After the trip?
Yeah.
No, we've not discussed
Is
it.
there a reason why you haven't discussed it with her?
Well, when we spoke, she said that when we spoke and I had originally put in the request, she said that she didn't remember she said that she didn't remember us talking about that. She said she had already left at that point on the court date. So that she said that she was going to ask her attorney about it, which is when I deferred it to you.
You're aware we communicated that with Ms. Duke's office. Did she ever say anything about that? Ms. Piper ever say anything with you about that?
I'm sorry.
That's what she said in her opening statement. She admitted I sent her an email on the 28th of June saying, what are we going to do?
Sustain the objection.
All right. So do you feel like you could have asked her about the summer visitation and gotten anywhere?
I don't.
And then did you ask me to get involved and file this motion today?
Yes.
What are you asking the court for? So if you had the 3rd through that following night, how many days was that you had?
Well, that would be 6 days.
Okay. And what are you asking the court for today for the summer? Summer's drawing to a close. Do you have an idea what you're asking for?
Well, I understand that it's getting close to the end of the wire with school starting and everything. I would just like to be able to see, spend more time with my kids.
When does school start?
I believe August 1st.
There was some debate on what school they were going to. Have you two made up your minds on that, or where?
Diana sent me a communication the other day. I think it was the same day that we took Oliver to the doctor. That she had filled out the paperwork to have Luella enrolled at Oakmont.
Okay. And do you know when that starts?
Oakmont it's right there the first week in August.
Okay. What are you asking the court for specifically for summer visitation during that time?
I'd like to be able to spend at least a full week with my kids.
Okay. Nothing further.
Ms. Duke, you may cross-examine.
Sir, what part of being a parent and co-parenting by asking for these things directly to Ms. Piper, I mean, why would you not do that? Why would you not just ask her directly for that second week?
When we spoke, the last time that we had a conversation, I could tell the conversation was getting heated, and it didn't feel like it was going in a productive direction. And I'm trying to keep things civil between us, and I didn't want it to turn into a big argument.
And let me get this straight. She asked you for 2 months for the dates of your vacation and had to reach out to your family members because you kept forgetting to give her that. And she obtained the dates from your grandmother, correct?
Yes.
And those dates were July the 4th to July the 8th. And she planned for the kids to be with you July the 4th to July the 8th. She did all of that, correct? You didn't do it, did you? Yes or no?
I didn't plan for the kid. I haven't talked to the kids. Or
You
anything.
did not coordinate the dates with her. She had to talk to your family member to coordinate the dates, correct?
The specific dates of the trip,
Okay.
yes.
And when she said, the kids are welcome to go with you July the 4th to July the 8th, you decided on June the 18th that you were going to ask for June the 3rd to June the 10th. You understand we're already close?
July the 3rd to July the 10th.
July the 3rd to July the 10th. That's correct. Thank you, Judge. You understand that we're almost halfway through the summer when you decide to start telling her about what vacation time you want, right?
Yes.
And you only mention the 1 week. Is that correct? Yes or no?
No.
Did you give her specific dates for another week, sir?
Not specific dates.
Okay.
No, I offered to work with her schedule on the second week.
Okay. And at no point in time have you ever proposed to her the dates for your second week, have you?
No.
Okay. And we're here today in court, and I hear you say, I want 1 additional week of time. And Ms. Piper has told you today in court that she doesn't have, or prior to this hearing started, that she doesn't have a problem with you having next week for that week. What, is there an issue with that, sir?
This was all news to me when we first sat down.
Okay.
He wants another week. She's willing to give him next week.
She's willing to give him next week. He wants 1 week. I can't figure out why we're here.
Right. Well, we're going to fix that. You find out from your client when he can pick the child up or the children up, and we're going to go ahead and just say that's what it's going to be. These two people are going to have to learn to communicate better. And Mr. Piper, that means you're going to have to talk to her. You don't need to get heated with your conversations. That's the last thing you need to do. But sometime or another, you can't keep running to a lawyer and asking your lawyer to try to arrange a time for you, because this case will eventually end. And when that ends, it's going to be up to you and Ms. Piper to try to communicate about trying to get your... No, sir, you sit down and be quiet. Just sit down and be quiet. You don't have a right to speak anything. If somebody wants you to be heard, they will call you as a witness. Now, unless you have some other questions for him, it seems to me that resolves this issue. That's a week, Friday at 6 to Friday at 6. This coming Friday at 6 to Friday at 6 the following week.
Okay.
All right, that'll be a court order. Step down.
I will fix that other order.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Piper. You may step down. That's going to be the court's order. And we can show that that's going to be, the court is ordering it based upon the agreement of the parties. And what do they lack in getting this case ready for a final hearing? All right. Well, let's get to mediation and try to get this thing resolved.
This case doesn't end with drama, it ends with a clear warning from the court. What played out here was never really about 1 extra week of summer visitation. It was about poor communication, delayed decisions, and parents relying on lawyers instead of talking to each other. And the judge saw that immediately. The father wanted additional time with his children. That request alone wasn't unreasonable. Family courts want both parents involved. But what hurt his position was not the request, it was how late it came, how unclear it was, and how it was handled. Waiting until the summer was almost over, failing to provide firm dates, and allowing tensions to build turned a simple parenting issue into a court motion. On the other side, the mother didn't appear to be withholding visitation. The court heard about accommodations already made, flexibility shown, and even voluntary sacrifices. Those details matter. Judges don't just listen to accusations, they watch patterns of behavior. Who communicates clearly, who follows through, and who escalates issues unnecessarily. Then came the moment that set the tone. When the father tried to speak out of turn, the judge stopped him immediately. "No, sir, sit down and be quiet." That wasn't personal. That was authority. A reminder that, in a courtroom, Emotions don't control the process, the judge does. With the tension rising, the court stepped in and did what family courts often do when parents can't agree. It imposed a solution. 1 full week of visitation. Clear start and end times. No confusion. No debate. But the most important part wasn't the order, it was the message. The judge made it clear that this case will eventually end. When it does, lawyers won't be there to manage basic co-parenting. These parents will have to communicate directly, calmly, and consistently for the sake of their children. This wasn't a victory or a defeat. It was a final reminder. Learn to co-parent now or face bigger problems later.